Hello! Today I want to do a really brief first impressions video about the new SPF product from Dispersal, which is from their NIOD brand. It's called Survival. It should be out this week. I pre-ordered mine from victoriahealth.com and they sent it out. It arrived this morning, and I signed up for the actual Dispersal website to be notified when they get stock, and I haven't had that email yet. So I think Victoria Health is the only place in the UK that I know of that is actually shipping it. So I was very excited when I got the notification and it arrived this morning, because one of the things that I was trying to find out before I actually placed the order was what the product was like. There's lots of information on the internet, on the Victoria Health website, and obviously that came from the Dispersal website, about all the technologies and how great it is and all the things that it protects against. But there was nothing about the product itself, like what did it look like, what's the consistency, you know, and that goes for all the reviews that I've managed to find, of which there's not that many, of people who had press samples. They photographed the bottle, which is very nice. They sort of copy and paste bits of the description from the main website, which again is helpful, but I wanted to know what it was really like. So I'll stop rambling. If you want to know about all the technology, I'd advise reading their website, because it's complicated and scientific and, you know, sounds very good, but this is really about what the product's actually like when you get it on your face. So it's called Survival. Comes in one of their dropper top bottles. It's in the brown, which is obviously a UV protecting packaging. It says to apply to face liberally before UV exposure. It doesn't say anything about shaking. Now, usually with a mineral SPF, which this is a non-chemical SPF, you have to shake to combine the minerals in the system. However, what's unique about this apparently is that it's in a silicone dispersed system. Again, I'm not technical, I'm not scientific, it's just about how it is on the skin, how it feels and how it works. So the silicone dispersal system is apparently good for two reasons. One is, I guess you don't need to shake it, it's encased within this silicone. Secondly, it doesn't have nanoparticles, which is one of the drawbacks of mineral SPFs, is that it's very difficult, because depends which research you read or which angle it's coming from, but it's thought that using nanoparticles of these minerals, they can sort of tend to lead to some sort of damage to your body's ecosystem. But by encasing them in silicone, it means that they can't be absorbed. So that's good. So this is an SPF 30 PA+++. You can get 4 of them. So this is the highest, which is recommended for fair skin, as I have. There's also a SPF 20, an SPF, let me just check, 10, and there's also a Survival 0, which isn't an SPF, but it's full of all the antioxidants and blue light filters from computers, TV screens, so you can wear it at night or when there's no sun. Which is obviously at night. Anyway, it's high protection, this one. Some fun facts: it lasts 6 months open, which I guess is to do with the ingredients, keeping them fresh and keeping them at their most effective. It says that if you're out in the sun, to maintain the protection, you need to reapply every 2 hours, or after any sort of water exposure or towel drying or excessive rubbing of the face. It says that on here, lighter skin tones, 1, 2 and 3 within the Fitzpatrick skin tone scale, should use a protection factor of at least SPF 30 whenever UV exposure occurs, regardless of UV index. So this means summer and winter, essentially. Now, price-wise, it's £25 for the highest factor, which is SPF 30, which is this one. It seems not a bad price for NIOD, because they're generally, when we're used to the ordinary prices, which is so cheap, tends to be quite expensive. However, this is only 30ml, and they recommend you use an entire dropper's worth to get adequate protection on the face, which isn't going to last that long. I mean, it's 6 months open, but I don't think it would last it won't last 6 months let's face it, if you use it every single day at the correct volume. Now, the most surprising thing is, in all the description, it says all this technological stuff, but it doesn't say about it's tinted. It says that it's really sophisticated and doesn't leave a white cast, but it doesn't say how. It's when I opened it, I was really quite surprised, to try not getting everywhere, because it does, oh, take that, it does have a colour to it, but as you can see, when you rub it on the skin, there's just nothing there. You can't see it at all. It doesn't seem to impart that colour like some tinted ones do. I don't know how it would perform on dark skin. It could leave a pale thing, I don't know. You just have to try it. But for pale ones, which often leave a bit of a, you know, shade too dark makeup tint, it's definitely, that doesn't happen. Because it's that silicone encapsulation, I found that it was very similar to their primer in the way that it prepares the skin for foundation. I actually put the ordinary serum foundation over the top, didn't use a primer. If anything, it was very, very absorbing. It's given a matte finish. Perhaps I should have used their hyaluronic acid before I put the SPF on. I only used moisturising factors today because my skin didn't feel particularly dry. But since I've put the makeup on and it's been on for a few hours, definitely feels a little bit dehydrated. So maybe I'm going to obviously try different things layering. So it goes well with foundation. It looks fine on its own, it's invisible, and it does give quite a nice mattifying effect, which again I think is down to the silicone. As far as getting enough on your face, it says 1 drop a full, but you can't see, because of the denseness of it, you can't really see how much is going in. And I had to get 2, you know, squeezes of the dropper, and it still didn't really feel enough on my face. Like, that didn't really feel like it even covered all my face, let alone at a, you know, thick level. Consistency wise, if you know the serum foundation, you'll know it's incredibly runny. This is thicker than that. Fragrance wise, it's unfragranced, as most DECIEM, if not all DECIEM products are. It does, you can smell the zinc oxide and the titanium oxide, which are the mineral actives. It's also got another smell to it, which I can't place. It's not unpleasant, but it's very functional, quite chemical smell. It's meant to have all the antioxidants, which is really interesting to see how that will affect my skin over a slightly longer term. And also, I don't know what it does as far as my reactive skin, whether it's going to increase the redness, whether it's going to calm the redness, whether it's going to create spots. So I'll do a sort of more in-depth review when I've had a good use of it and tried it with lots of different foundations and worn it in different situations and, you know, weathers. But as a first impression, I'd say definitely try it. It is on the pricier side, but the good news is The Ordinary are going to be launching an SPF later in the year, which I guess is going to take some of this technology and make it very affordable, which would be really interesting to do a comparison. But in the meantime, get ordering this, because I do think from my first impressions that it's going to be a good one. Thank you for watching.